Dear students, today's topic of my lecture, physical world and measurement, part 2. So what you have to learn in this part 2, you just see here. First we explain fundamental forces in nature, then properties of fundamental forces in nature, after that nature of physical laws, and at last in recapitulation we have to solve multiple choice questions. So whatever the concept you learn, then you have to apply it here and understand the concept and solve the MCQs, check your answers. So one by one I explain. The first is fundamental forces in nature. Basically there are four fundamental forces in nature that govern the diverse phenomena of macroscopic and microscopic world. Means the fundamental forces are divided into two parts. One is we have to explain in macroscopic world. Another one we have to explain in microscopic world. So the fundamental forces are divided into two parts, that is macroscopic world and microscopic world. And macroscopic world further divided into two parts. One is gravitational force, another one is electromagnetic force. Similarly, microscopic world we divide into two parts, that is strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. One by one I explain all the four forces. You understand like that? The first one is gravitational force. Gravitational force basically the force due to mutual attraction between any two objects by virtue of their masses. It is a universal force. Every object experiences this force due to every other object in the universe. For example, we take experience the force of gravity due to the earth. For example, an object is falling from certain height and that object will experience the force of gravity due to the earth. And another example we take, the gravity governs the motion of the moon and the artificial satellites around the earth. Similarly, the motion of earth and the other planets around the sun, and of course the motion of bodies falling to the earth. In all these phenomena, the gravitational force acts. So that's why we say that it is a universal force. Now, mathematically we define as this force is directly proportional to the product of their masses. Their masses means bodies or objects, and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. We consider the two bodies having the masses m1 and m2 placed at certain distance represented by small r. Then as per definition we say that F directly proportional to the product of masses of the bodies and inversely proportional to the square of distance. That is F directly proportional to m1 m2 and F inversely proportional to the square of distance, that is r square. Now combine these two equations, F directly proportional to m1 m2 upon r square, and for omitting this proportionality sign we require a constant, and that constant is capital G, where this capital G is called universal gravitational constant and its value is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. So this is all about gravitational force. Now we have to learn properties of the gravitational force. The first property is it is a weakest force in our nature. Second, it is a central force. So when we are talking about the weakest force in our nature, means we are comparing this force with respect to the other three forces. It is not so weak as we are saying, but in comparison to these four forces, we have to say gravitational force is the weakest force in our nature. It is a central force because we are taking the distance from center to center of two bodies. It is a conservative force, means work done by this force only depends on initial and final position of two bodies. It is independent to the nature of path followed between them. And the fourth one is it obeys the inverse square law. As you see, F is inversely proportional to the square of distance. And fifth one is it is operative over to a very long distance. Similarly, sixth one, it is independent to the nature of medium between the two bodies or objects. Means it is not dependent on any medium between the two bodies. And seventh one is it is a attractive in nature. Eighth one is the field particles used for gravitational force are called gravitons. So these are the 8 properties of gravitational force. Now same way the electromagnetic force. Electromagnetic force is the force between the charged particles. In a simple way, we can say that when the charges are at rest, then the force is given by the Coulomb's law, which is known as electrostatic force. And the force can be attractive, can be repulsive. Its nature is attractive for the unlike charges and repulsive for like charges. But when the charges are in motion, then they produce magnetic effects, and a magnetic field gives rise to a force on a moving charge. As you know that the source of the magnetic field is moving charge, and when this moving charge is moving in a applied magnetic field, then due to the motion of charge a magnetic field developed, and it is moving in the applied magnetic field, then due to these two magnetic fields there is a magnetic interaction, as a result of which the charged particle will experience a force, and the electric and magnetic effects are there. In general, they are inseparable, hence we say electromagnetic force. Like the gravitational force, electromagnetic force also acts over large distance and does not need any intervening medium. But you remember here, we are talking about electromagnetic force. If we say that about electrostatic force, and that depends on to the nature of medium or nature of intervening medium. But electromagnetic force does not need any intervening medium. So you remember this point carefully. It is enormously strong force compared to the gravitational force. The electric force between two protons. Now, for example, we say that it is 10 raised power 36 times stronger than gravitational force between them, that is between the protons, for any fixed distance. So that's why we say that electromagnetic force is stronger than gravitational force. Now its properties. The first property is it is 10 raised power 36 times stronger than gravitational force. Second one is it is also a central force. It is also a conservative force. It acts over the large distance and does not need any intervening medium. And the fifth one is it is attractive for unlike charges and repulsive for like charges. And the field particles used for electromagnetic forces are photons. So these are the properties of electromagnetic force. So these two forces we explain under the macroscopic world. Now we have to explain other two forces under the microscopic world, that is over to the small distance. So let us see. The first one is strong nuclear force. Strong nuclear force, basically the force which acts between nucleons to bind them in nucleus. And this force acts between the pair of protons, pair of neutrons, and pair of proton and neutron. Now, what are the properties of what is the properties of strong nuclear force? So first property is it is 10 raised power 38 times stronger than gravitational force and 100 times stronger than electromagnetic force. So it is the strongest force in our nature. Second one, it is non-central force, it is non-conservative force, it is short range force, that is of the order of 10 is power minus 15 meter, which is also known as 1 Fermi. It is attractive in nature. And the last sixth one, the field particles used for strong nuclear force are called pi mesons. Now, the fourth one is weak nuclear force, or under the macroscopic word, second force, weak nuclear force. The weak nuclear force appears only in certain nuclear process, such as beta decay of a nucleus. In beta decay, the nucleus emits an electron and an uncharged particle called neutrino. So the force acts between electron and uncharged particle neutrino during the beta decay process is called weak nuclear force. As its name indicates, weak nuclear force, but it is not weak. As I already told you that we are comparing all four forces. That's why we are saying like that. But it is still a very strong force. So you see that its properties. The first property, it is 10 raised power 25 times stronger than gravitational force. Second is it is very short range force, that is of the order of 10 raised power minus 16 meter. And the field particles used for weak nuclear force are called leptons. So this is about weak nuclear force. Now we have to study the relative strength of basic forces in our nature. So we have to consider gravitational force as the reference, and then we write the relative strengths just like that. You see here, Fg is the representation of gravitational force, Fw weak nuclear force, Fe electromagnetic force, Fn strong nuclear force. Then their strength ratios 1 raised to 10 is power 25 raised to 10 is power 36 raised to 10 is power 38. Its meaning is that the weak nuclear force is 10 is power 25 times stronger than gravitational force. Similarly, electromagnetic force is 10 is power 36 times stronger than gravitational force. And similarly, strong nuclear force is 10 is power 38 times stronger than gravitational force. So, this is about basic forces in our nature. Now, nature of physical laws. So there are four physical laws that we have to discuss here. One is law of conservation of energy, another one is law of conservation of linear momentum, and the third one is law of conservation of angular momentum, and then law of conservation of charge. So first one is law of conservation of energy. So that you have already studied in the lower classes. So again, you have to see here. According to this law, in an isolated system, isolated system, what is very important is no other factors, that is external factors, affected to the isolated system. So in an isolated system, the total energy of the system remains conserved. That is, neither the energy created nor be destroyed, but it can transfer from one form to another form. So you remember it carefully. The physical laws which we are discussing, all that we have discussed in an isolated system. So isolated system means no other external factors or external forces affected the system. For example, we take when an object falls from certain height, at that time when the object is at the certain height, it has potential energy, kinetic energy is zero. But when the object falls from certain height, then its potential energy gets converted into kinetic energy. But total energy of the system remains conserved. As the object starts falling, its potential energy starts decreasing and kinetic energy starts increasing. But the total energy of the system remains conserved. That is called law of conservation of energy. Second law is law of conservation of linear momentum. So again, in an isolated system, the total linear momentum of the system remains conserved, remains constant. We take one example here. When a bullet is fired from a gun, then bullet moves with very high speed in forward direction. It comes two times. I cut this one. Then it moves, means bullet moves with very high speed in forward direction. That is, its linear momentum is in forward direction. And the gun recoils with high speed in opposite direction. Then its linear momentum is in opposite direction. So in order to conserve the linear momentum of the system, so that is called law of conservation of linear momentum. Once again, you see the same example. When a bullet is fired from the gun, then the bullet moves with very high speed in forward direction. So its linear momentum is in the forward direction. But gun recoils with high speed in opposite direction. That is, its linear momentum is in opposite direction in order to conserve linear momentum of the system. And third one is law of conservation of angular momentum. Means when a body is moving in a circular path or in an angular path, at that time we have to apply this law of conservation of angular momentum. So according to this law, in an isolated system, total angular momentum of the system remains conserved. For example, we take the planets revolving around the sun must have constant angular momentum. The detail about that you have to study in the chapter 7. Now the fourth law, that is law of conservation of charge. Again, according to this law, in an isolated system, the total charge of the system remains conserved. For example, we take when 92 uranium 238 undergo the alpha decay, then we get 90 thorium 234 plus alpha particle. Alpha particle is a helium nucleus. So that's why you see in equation 2He4 plus large amount of the energy. So before alpha decay, the number of protons you can see here, it is 92. So after alpha decay, again you see that number of protons are 90 plus 2, that is 92, and before alpha decay number of protons 92. So number of protons before alpha decay is equal to number of protons after alpha decay. It means the total charge remains conserved. So this is about physical laws. Now under the recapitulation we have to discuss some multiple choice questions, and you have to solve these multiple choice questions by applying the concepts which you learn. The first question is here: the branch of science which deals with nature and natural phenomena is called. Your options are here: A. Sociology, B. Biology, C. Civics, D. Physics. So, by definition of physics, as you already studied, physics is the branch of the science which mainly deals with nature and natural phenomena. So that's why its answer is D. Physics. Now the second question for you: a scientific way of doing things involve. Your options are here: identify the problem, B. Collecting the data, C. Hypothesizing a possible theory, D. All of the above. So for a scientific way of doing things, we require all these options. So that's why the answer D is correct. Now the third question: when we hold a book in our hand, we are balancing the gravitational force on the book due to. Your options are here: a normal force provided by our hand, option B, friction force provided by our hand, C, both A and B, D, none of these. So you understand like that when the book is held on to the hand, then its gravitational force is acting downward. So balancing this gravitational force, we require a force in upward direction, that is known as normal force. So that's why its answer must be option A. Don't get confused. What is asking in the question, that you understand the language and then apply the concept and choose the correct option. Now the fourth question for you here: which of the following force has infinite range? Your options are here: A. Gravitational force, B. Electromagnetic force, D. Strong nuclear force, C. Strong nuclear force, D. Both A and B. So up to the infinite range, obviously gravitational force. So your answer should be A, gravitational force. Now the fifth question for you: which of the following is the correct decreasing order of strength of four fundamental forces of nature? So these four options are given to you. You read all these four options carefully, apply your concept, what you learn. So choose the correct answer. As you learn, strong nuclear force is the strongest force in our nature, then electromagnetic force, then weak nuclear force, then gravitational force. So in decreasing order, means first strongest and then in the decreasing strength. So that's why its answer should be, or the correct option of this question should be D. That is strong nuclear force greater than electromagnetic force greater than weak nuclear force greater than gravitational force. Now another question, question number 6. The exchange particle for electromagnetic force are. Your options are here: A. Gravitons, B. Gluons, C. photons, D. Mesons. So it is electromagnetic force. So your option should be C. Photons. Now question number 7 for you. Which of the following is the weakest force? Your options are here. A. Nuclear force. B. Gravitational force. C. Electromagnetic force. D. None of these. So apply your concept. Apply your concept and choose the correct answer. Weakest force. So weakest force is gravitational force. So your options are these four, and the correct one is B, that is gravitational force. Now question number 8, which of the following is the strongest force? So your options are A. Nuclear force, B. Gravitational force, C. Electromagnetic force, and D. None of these. Strongest force in our nature, that is nuclear force. So your option A is correct. If you like my video, then like it, subscribe, press the bell icon. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay safe, stay healthy, learn physics by staying at home through my YouTube channel. Thank you.